Many people who struggle with undiagnosed social anxiety may write their social behaviours off as being shy, introverted, or uninterested. However, the important thing to know is that if you do in fact deal with social anxiety, it could get worse over time, leading to an unsatisfied overall outlook on life, with the social anxiety acting as an anchor, holding you back from the things you want to do deep down. So, are you struggling with social anxiety? Welcome back, Psychos. In today's video, we'll be talking about 8 signs you struggle with social anxiety. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Sign number 1. Your awkwardness makes you skip events. A new yoga class sounds great, but as soon as the idea comes to you, it's followed up with the idea of how silly you look trying yoga as a beginner. These thoughts are normal, but shouldn't be the deciding factor in whether or not you should attend an event or try a new endeavour. Social anxiety, on the other hand, will cause someone to not only ditch the idea completely due to these thoughts of awkwardness, but it will also hold the person back to ever consider trying yoga or whatever the event might be again. Social anxiety can go as far as convincing you that you will look the silliest in the room, even if it's a class for beginners filled with people who have never tried it. The awkwardness goes against any logic that may be presented pertaining to the situation. Sign number 2. You feel uninterested in social events altogether. The reason it's so easy for people with social anxiety to choose to not attend an event or social gathering is that they were only half interested to begin with. Social anxiety has a tendency to make the sufferer think they don't actually enjoy or want to attend social gatherings of all types, because it goes against their introverted and shy personality type. It becomes an identity that they carry around as part of them, which makes them quick to make decisions on whether or not they like something that involves socializing. Oftentimes, people suffering with social anxiety don't even get to the point of considering the event. Let's say yoga for consistency. People with social anxiety may jump right to the conclusion that yoga is for hippies and for fit people, instantaneously taking themselves out of the equation and filling their head with negative perspectives on the event or the gathering. Sign number 3. A slight change in appearance can turn your world upside down. Okay, to be fair, waking up on picture day or your wedding day with a big zit in the middle of your forehead isn't exactly the ideal situation for any of us. However, for people suffering with social anxiety, any slight change in appearance can take a significant toll on their mental health and social ability. Anything from a bad haircut and unexpected blemish or putting on a couple of pounds is enough to make these people shut down, resulting in avoiding social situations even further. The main reason behind this is that people with social anxiety are not only very self-conscious and lacking confidence, but they also fear that people are always judging them, when in reality, most of the time it is only in their heads. Walking into a social setting with a bad haircut for these people is mental torture, because they will be entirely distracted by the idea that everyone is judging them and their new haircut. Sign number 4. You don't expect anyone to befriend you. Social anxiety and making friends are often two clashing topics. Social anxiety leads to traits of seeming unapproachable and unfriendly, which then results in less people approaching them. This then leads to more social anxiety because the sufferer will deem themselves as unable to make friends or starting social interactions. It's a vicious cycle. When approaching a new social setting, we all have the fear of being the one left out, the last one chosen, or the odd one out during the partner's exercises. However, due to the unapproachable nature of people with social anxiety, they often are the odd ones out, discouraging future social interactions and confirming their insecurities. Sign number 5. You avoid dating. If you have social anxiety, you probably have 101 reasons as to why you don't have a spouse and also aren't interested in looking for one. Maybe it's that you see yourself as career-focused, or the classic, "I just don't have time for dating," which is a nicer way for these people to say, "Don't ask me about my life and leave me alone." Dating is sometimes a touchy subject, and that's especially true for socially anxious people who have deep down insecurities with not being open to finding someone. Often enough, the real reason behind the lack of dating is the deep insecurity and sense of unworthiness to find a partner. People struggling with social anxiety feel like they don't deserve someone to care for them, and often feel like they are such a burden that nobody would put up with them for long periods of time. So it's just not worth it in their eyes. Sign number 6, you feel inferior in life. Do you go through life with the constant feeling that everyone you interact with is looking down on you? If so, this is a major sign of social anxiety. These feelings are prominent in social work settings like the office or the classroom. You have a general sense that everyone that is not you gets along, easily have conversations, and effortlessly create connections. Yet when you walk into the room, you feel a sense of awkwardness and maybe even an eye roll or two with an underlying sense of pity, which is most often entirely untrue. This underlying feeling of being looked down upon can result in it being more difficult for these people to find genuine connections and enjoyable human interactions, developing further feelings of preferred isolation and avoiding social interactions. Sign number 7, you edit. Edit before you post. Are you the type of social media user who takes 50 selfies only to choose one that you will spend another 20 to 30 minutes editing and trying to think of the best caption? This incredible effort is a true sign of social anxiety as well as a deep insecurity of self. Socially anxious people who struggle with this overthinking can blame the thoughts of being looked down upon and not good enough for their lack of confident posting. For these people, likes and feedback are major contributors to their self-worth as people. So when they feel like a photo is not good enough or not getting the attention that they were expecting, they will soon delete it. These people use social media as a place to collect their external validation, allowing them to feel happy and whole, temporarily. Sign number 8, fearing judgment. A lot of social anxiety signs are directly related to their constant fear of outer judgment. So it's no surprise that this fear has become second nature to them. People with social anxiety are constantly overanalyzing themselves and their self-worth. So they think it only makes sense that everyone else around them is also judging them and questioning their worth. The everyday feeling of judgment and a lack of self-confidence results in the normalizing of these feelings. In fact, they become autopilot thoughts. At the same point, socially anxious people won't even notice these otherwise overwhelming thoughts, which makes the anxiety of social interaction also very normal to them. This sign is one that makes socially anxious people so difficult because once habits become routine for us as humans, it can be incredibly difficult to convince ourselves otherwise, while making it difficult to even pinpoint if you are struggling or not. Sign number 9, you wonder what genuine confidence feels like. With this constant flow of fearful judgment, socially anxious people no longer relate to feelings of confidence and high self-esteem. They relate confidence to a feeling of being immature or carefree like a child, and because the socially anxious thoughts are second nature to them, they may defend these negative feelings with reasoning of being mature, uninterested, or too busy. People struggling with social anxiety may also see confident people as fake or hiding something because they are so far from being able to relate to them. This eventually leads to socially anxious people no longer having the desire to be more confident after convincing themselves that confidence is riddled in negative characteristics, which we all know is untrue. Sign number 10, you act different depending on comfort levels. The rise of social media and connecting through screens have been a huge breakthrough for people with social anxiety, while also being a huge enabler. People with social anxiety find it much easier to let loose and be themselves when face-to-face interaction is removed from the equation. Socially anxious people are often overwhelmed by reading body language, emotions, thinking of quick replies, and looking people in the eye. So by removing all of these components from the interaction, socially anxious people feel the comfort of the situation, which allows them to let their guard down. The negative side to this is that the screen-to-screen interaction doesn't fulfill our social connection needs as humans and can lead these people further away from their suggested goals of improving their actual face-to-face interaction skills that are needed in everyday situations. Plus, finding personal connections over the internet can hold these people back from making the much-needed face-to-face human connections we all need in life. Well, that wraps up today's video, psychos. Do you struggle with social anxiety? If so, let us know in the comments below how you combat it. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more psycho videos. We hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next video.